What's up, y'all? I'm Tasha from the Major Change Group, and y'all, I'm so excited about this live stream. Y'all, we're gonna be talking a lot about these credit card annual fees. Like, what's going on, y'all, with these annual fees going up? And I want to give y'all an update because in a few of my videos, I have been talking about, it was time for me to make a decision with that American Express Gold Card. And y'all, I went ahead and did it. I went ahead and downgraded the American Express Gold Card because that 325, that 350. I was just like, I don't know about that. And so I downgraded it to the American Express Green Card. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that and some of these annual fees. But I want to know, let me know in the comments, how are your annual fees looking and what kind of redemptions are you getting? This summer we traveling. How has your redemptions been? So we're going to talk about it because I got Key from Kiki Adventures and I got Rod from Points Blank Travel and Points Blank Finance. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the finance too, because we're going to talk about some SoFi stocks as well. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring up my guest and we're going to get this started, y'all. What up, y'all?
Hey, how you doing, Tasha?
How are y'all doing today?
All right, what's up, Key?
Thriving and surviving. What's going
on? Man, I'm so glad to have y'all on the channel. But really quick, even though I know that everybody knows y'all, will you guys introduce yourself really quick and just talk about, so we're going to give like some fun facts. So tell us your channel and then tell us how many credit cards you have and how many annual fees. What's your total annual fee?
Oh, man. All right, I'll go first, Rod. My name's Key. I run the channel called Kiki Adventures on YouTube. The whole point of my channel is to talk about how I use credit cards, points, miles to supplement my lifestyle and my family's lifestyle, to be honest with you. And I've been using points and miles since at least 2017. So that's all the things that you'll find on my channel: family travel, solo travel, using points and miles for all your adventures. I actually have had over 100 credit cards in my lifetime. And when we think about the annual fees, you're going to have to get back to me because I don't know. I'm going to have to bring out my calculator for that.
Yeah, because I know you have closed a couple, but what would you say a roundabout?
I'm thinking it's probably in the neighborhood of $3,000 to $4,000.
Oh my Lord, Key, I'm about to pass out. Oh my God.
It's crazy out here. But yeah.
Ooh, but see, but this is the thing though. It might be 3,000, but I know you getting those redemptions in. So that's what really matters. And that's what we're going to get into. Exactly. All right, Rod.
Hey, what's going on? First and foremost, thank you for having me here, Tasha. Thank you for joining us, Key. And I just found out Key was going to join us because I don't go to the Discord. Anyway, my name is Rod. I'm actually, I have several channels when it comes to finance. I do have this channel, which is the flagship channel, Points Blank Travel. On this channel, it's a simple philosophy. I like to show people in the simplest way possible how to travel around the world or around the country. I don't use the word free. I always say little or no money out of your pocket, because there may be times where you may have to spend a small portion of money and it may not be free. So I like to be very precise with my words. I also had a channel, Points Blank Finance, which was like my middle child. And I renamed it to Investing with Rod. And on that channel, we basically show everyone how to invest on a budget. And what I mean by that, and I like to clarify, when people hear budget, they think even if I make $2,000, I have to find a way to invest $500. That's not what I'm doing. When I say on a budget, I'm thinking a Rod budget. I may only have $5 or $10 to spare, and I'm still giving up something to even try to invest. And I show people how to do that on Investing with Rod. I don't do it for you. You don't send me any money. Matter of fact, if you receive any communications talking about WhatsApp and Investing with Rod, it's not me. Don't send them anything. All of my information is free, 99. And we use Robinhood. I mean, we buy crypto, ETFs, stocks. I have several different brokerages. I will be switching around because everybody's not into Robinhood. Some people are into Webull. And just like Tasha said, she's looking at SoFi. I probably have them all. just over the years, I never closed them. So glad to be here and share the knowledge that I have. And also I'm glad to learn. So glad to be here to learn. So.
All right, Rod. Now the question is, this is it. How many credit cards do you have, and what's your annual fee on average right now?
Credit cards, I was up to keyword is was 32. And total over lifetime, I don't know. Now, believe it or not, and this is the first time I really exposed this. I've probably dwindled down to, let me see here, 7. If I have 12 now, I'd be shocked.
Wow.
Okay. That's
I
amazing.
have broken ties with one company, and I may say before video, and I may just I'll say it tonight, but I won't go into detail too deep. And my annual fees, to be honest, you'll rarely hear me say this word, but I was afraid to ever calculate them. I didn't want to know. I mean, and at first, was I getting all of the value compared to the annual fee? No. As I got better, I started to, and then as I continued to learn, I got better, and then I was maximizing most of them. But if I had to say, I'm just thinking of 3 right off the top that they're on the chopping block. $700 for the platinum, $325 for the gold, $375 for the business gold. So we'll round it up. That's $800. Right there, that's $1,500. You keep adding up. I would say a year, I was probably hitting about $6,000, $6,000.
Wow.
Okay. That is so interesting. So right now I'm at 14 credit cards, and I want to say I'm about 600. I would say about 600, about 612, somewhere off in there. Because like I was saying, when I opened, I had the American Express Gold card. Because, really, I'm a no to low annual fee. But then how did I get up to, I originally got up to like $787. How did I get up to that far? But then when I hear you guys, like, I ain't nowhere near that. So it still seems kind of low. But when I had got the American Express Gold card, I had to get it because they had it where you could get the 90,000 membership reward points. So I was like, you know what? I got to get it because that year 1 was going to be the best. So I went ahead and got it, especially at the 250. And I feel like, especially for year 1, I really did pretty good with it. But year 2, man, I really wasn't using that card that much. And then I was opening up cards. But then this year, y'all, I haven't opened up a card since 24? It's been over a year and some months I'm like, wow, that's not like me, because probably for the last 4 years, I've been opening up at least 2 to 3 cards a year. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So going from that pace to where you're at now, are you comfortable with the cards you have in your collection, or are you trying to figure out what's your next move going to be?
You know what? I am comfortable with the cards that I have now. Surprisingly, so I had downgraded the American Express Gold card, and the only other card that I'm thinking about possibly closing or downgrading is my Chase Sapphire Preferred card.
Okay.
Because it's like those 2 cards I probably use the least, and I'm really using, other credit cards. And so I really wanted that Chase Sapphire Preferred card. And, it only has a $95 annual fee, but it's just like, for me, if I'm not really using it, it's not really a benefit.
Right.
And so, but the other cards that I have, and so right now my favorite cards are surprisingly, the American Express, Hilton Honor Surpass, the Citi Platinum American Airlines, and then my Southwest card. So I'm really liking those cards right now. That's really what I'm using, because I'm just trying to accumulate a lot of points, because 2025 really, except for when I went to Chicago, all the trips that I've been on, like 3, I'm just acting like I've been on so many, that I've only used points and cash back with those trips.
Okay. Now I have a question, Tasha, real quick, just out of curiosity, with the Sapphire Preferred, you downgraded it already, or are you thinking about it?
Not yet. I'm thinking about it because I want to say in October, that's when I'll have to make my decision.
So you're going to downgrade it to?
That's the part I don't know.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
The reason I asked, and I'm gonna, it's the reason. Now, do you have any other Chase Freedom Unlimited, Freedom Flex?
Yeah, because see, I don't have those, so it's going to be one of those two.
I would look into, because I know the Sapphire cards are like in a different category from the Freedom cards. Just like American Express, when you have the co-branded airline, is in a different thing than the membership reward cards. What I would recommend when you get ready, and I can't say I'll remind you, I'll probably be lying if I said it because I'll probably forget. But when you do this, I would go into a branch. I wouldn't get on a computer. I wouldn't get on a phone. I would go into a branch. Let them, first of all, I wouldn't even let them know you know credit card. Let them know what you're trying to do. And then if they don't play the drum to your beat, that's when you start talking points. Miles, Sapphire Lounges, I'm telling you, I was over 524, walked into a lounge. They offered me a job and gave me a Sapphire Preferred over 525. I told them the only way I worked there if they gave me an office with my name in lights, because I had a job. But do that. And I think you can get around it, but that's why I asked, because it's not good for you if you don't have any other, because I have that card, it's in my wallet now, and I probably use that card 15 times a year, maybe. But it's the big dog when I transfer from the Freedom cards to it to travel.
Right.
Those at no annual fee, then it'll definitely be worth your while. So
yeah, you're right. So, because see, that was even the thing, because I feel like with the American Express Gold card, with the transfer partners, and the Chase Sapphire Preferred card with the transfer partners, that's where it's at. But y'all, it's only been a couple of times that I did the transfer partners. So I was just like, I don't know. And so I think that's my next question. I'm all for, because, American Express Gold card is an amazing card, even though I am downgrading it. And I definitely see the benefit of the Platinum card. But surprisingly, I'm really loving the Hilton Honor Surpass. And I might even, I don't know yet, because we got that $550 annual fee with the Hilton, with the Aspire. And since I like the Surpass so much, I'm just like, maybe I could do the Aspire. And so, I know having those other cards are good, but it's just like, even though I'm a Marriott person, with the Hilton Honor, I'm just like, to me, the Hilton Honor Surpass, hands down, everybody should get that card.
Okay. Now, here's my thing with the Surpass is that, or excuse me, with the Hilton card, I agree with you that the Hilton Surpass earns a lot of points real fast on everything, groceries, all that, everything you're normally doing. My thing is, when you go to redeem those points with Hilton, I'd be looking at them prices like, how people afford $388 million points per night on this Hilton chart. Like,
let me tell you, I totally agree, because I feel like, and you'll have to let me know, are they reading something in the background? Because before I had a lot of points, and because we're doing the meetup in Puerto Rico, and I kid you not, they had hotels and it was not that much. Once I had over 200,000 in my Hilton, why do it seem like everything is 110,000?
That's what I'm saying. So even though you're earning 6x on gas, 6x on 6 points per dollar on those items that I just mentioned, unless you have a family of 15 people, you ain't gonna have enough points for when you're trying to go to Puerto Rico or when you're trying to do this and that, unless you're doing like a 1 weekend a night thing, right? You have plenty of points for that, but it's tough to bring together Hilton nights.
Yeah, you are so right. And then last year and then Key, because you be on it though, because see, last year I had did the $15K for that one night certificate, and I'm just like, Key, on the one hand, I'm just like, that was not smart. Because I really could have got even for 1 year, I could have got the American Express Platinum Even with that spin, because see, the thing is, it would have been what I've been able to get the spin within, because I be trying to get my spin in a month. but with the platinum, you got to get what, 6,000.
Yeah.
And so that's in what, 3 months. I'm just like, I don't know about no 6,000 or 3 months, but see, 15K and then
a whole year, 12 months
for 12 months. But I was just like, now it was good because I was able to go to a hotel because it was 110,000 points for that one night. That was good, but I spent 15K.
That's what I'm saying. So I think, and I know we discussed this last year, but if you only have one credit card, fine. But someone like you, Tasha, you have all these credit cards. You do like when there's an all-time high, you like, I'm going to go get that card. I'm going to sign up for that. So that's why I don't think going after that 15,000 spend made any sense, because
I ain't doing it this year.
No. For anybody, most people, right, have one or two credit cards. I know we crazy. We got all these credit. You're talking about $9,000 annual fees. That's crazy. But for most people, one or two cards, the Hilton card is great because you're earning a minimum of 3 Hilton points every single time you use that card, regardless of where it's at.
Yeah.
So I agree with Key. And in my entire tenure of having this credit card journey, I've never attempted, nor have I ever spent $15,000 on one card and got the free night or the free room or the free upgrade, because I had too much shuffling going on. I had too many cards I was shuffling, and I wasn't spending that amount of money where I had one card dedicated for 15 grand and still juggling 30 other cards. It was financially impossible for me. I couldn't even think of that much to buy, even if I had the money.
Yeah.
So I agree with Key on that. If you only have one or two cards, it may make sense, but that's one of the shifts I made. And I want to do it before the end of 2025. I've already slowly started doing it on my channel. It's almost like skating on ice with razor blades on my skates. Because for years I've preached points and miles, but I think I found a detour in the road or a fork in the road, and I'm going to take a different turn than what I've taken the last X amount of years, because I'm starting to see the light. And stay tuned and it'll come out. But in reality, a question I have for you, Tasha, so you're downgrading this gold card. The only path is what? The green card?
Mm-hmm.
And you have a Surpass card, right?
Yep.
Drive home.
Okay. What I don't know your plan, but I had that same setup. The only, and I used to listen to Your Favorite Couple. He did some amazing stuff. He got whatever diamond with the regular Hilton card.
Wow.
I don't know how he did it, but he did.
That's like 60.
Yeah, because if you get the Aspire, then you automatically get the complimentary diamond, right?
Yeah. Now, when you get gold, which you could get an upgrade, you're not going to get all the diamond perks. But what I would do, when you download from gold to green, I would put that Surpass, use it every couple of months. I would focus on that green card unless I don't have a multiplier with the Surpass at the groceries, the gas, restaurants. Because when you transfer you probably already noticed, when you transfer from Amex to Hilton, you're getting 2 times the points.
Yeah.
Now, that's why I thought the gold card was beneficial, because when I go to the grocery store and get 4 times the points, I would transfer those to Hilton instead of using the Surpass getting 6.
Yeah.
I'm using the gold getting 8.
Yeah. And see, I think that's where a lot of people probably prefer to have the gold, but my thing is you got to do what's best for you. And I'm not saying what anybody do is wrong. And I get it, and so, I've already went ahead and downgraded the gold, but it's just like, y'all, on the one hand, I really wasn't even using it. I'm telling you, it was the only time I was using it because I felt like I was forced to use the
credits.
You had the dining credit, and then they had ended up adding the Dunkin' Donuts, and it's like I didn't
Service
even
and
go to
tea.
Dunkin' Donuts, but I would do that, and then for my dining, I would or my Uber credit, if I wasn't traveling, then I would use it for to go. I would get me some pizza or something like that, but it's just like it wasn't really in my natural spending. Now that Resi credit, that Resi credit, that was it right there. But that's only $100 in 1 year. And so it's just like for me with my spend and having 14 credit cards only for me, but I definitely get it. And I'm not going to say, because it was kind of hard because I'm just like, man, I just love that gold card. But it's like, it just didn't make sense for me for year 2 and year 3. So going into year 3, it just wasn't going to make any sense for me. And then I'm not really transferring points over too much. And so, so that's kind of where I was at. I can't say I made the right decision for me.
You're right, Josh. And that's one of the beefs. That's one of the beefs I had with Amex. And what people need to realize, what may be the right decision in 2025 may not be the right decision in 2027. You may have a different strategy. But one thing I couldn't stand about Amex, and I love Amex, other than this, when it comes to using their credits, you almost have to be a mathematician. You got the Saks credit on the platinum card, but you got to remember that it's about to be July 1st or you lose half of. I don't want, do I go over someone's house and they say, hey, we're having dinner, and they give me the steak and then I get the potatoes some other day? I don't want to do all that. Give me the meal all at once, or I don't even know what Resi is. I don't even know what it is.
Okay.
That's nowhere.
Yeah.
And then you're right. That little $120 credit for dining, yet I got to divide that by 12. Now I'm down to $10. I go to Cheesecake Factory. I can't even get a piece of cheesecake for $10. Now I'm spending my own money.
Yeah, because I had used it. And it's like, I had used it for the Cheesecake Factory, but it's just like you go to the Cheesecake Factory, because that's the thing. Even I'm going to automatically spend just by myself $40 or more. So you're just getting a little $10.
Yeah, you're paying the taxes basically. And the tip, maybe a little itty bit of the tip.
No, yeah. So I want to go into, especially, you guys having, those annual fees are high. What makes it worth it having those annual fees?
Yeah, I can take this one first, Rod, and then
please.
Sometimes more articulate than I am, so I'll let him.
No, you come on now.
Okay, so a couple of things that you mentioned. Number one is no matter the strategy that we all employ, they're all so different. So I think it's important to call that out. Is you have to start with what your goals are, right? Tasha, you said you travel about 3, 4, 5 times a year. That's great. That's your travel goal. That's what you should be aspiring to. Mm-hmm. Me, I like to travel at least 1 time per month. So our credit card setups have to be different in order for me to supplement that. Yeah. So I say all that to say, start with whatever your travel goal is and then work backwards from that. What card or cards are going to get you there? I was having a conversation today, totally unrelated to like points and miles, I guess, but you can get discounts for things that you may not realize. Auto insurance, homeowners insurance, renters insurance. If you pay up for that all at once, instead of breaking it out month over month, you oftentimes can get a 5% discount off the rip. Now, you can get a credit card that has 0% APR for 15 months, for 18 months. So you pay all at once on that credit card, and then every month you pay the $100 or the $200 that your auto or home insurance is, and you lock that in. You can do that with any strategy, right? We're talking about regular bills. I'm talking about backing into my travel goals, but I just wanted to share something that's a little bit more relatable to most people.
That's good. Yeah.
I like that. Very articulate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be hood on this one, boy.
Before you get started, Rod, I want to give a shout out to a few people in the chat. So I want to say hello to Lisa with Lisa J. Stocks. I gotta have her on as well. I wasn't for sure if she was gonna be joining since I put it in a Discord, but I definitely want to get her on the channel. And then I want to say hello to the House of X Entertainment. What's going on? And then also I want to give a shout out to Chad Money Minutes. I gotta have him on the channel because I was watching one of his videos today. And see, this is the thing that last time we had the live stream, I forget what he had his because you know how you can put your channel name, and he said I really use my points, and so that's how it got in my mind, because I'm just like, how are people redeeming their points? Because it's just like, for me, I'm not sitting on no points, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to use my points. And so I gotta have Chad on here one day. And then I want to say hello to Latrice Wilson.
What's up, Latrice?
And then Grinding for the Money 850 Elite.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. So Rod, let us know, especially with you having all those annual fees and you've been up to almost 6,000, like, oh my goodness.
And that was definitely an estimate. I would probably say exceeded that. I never wanted a trophy for the most annual fees, but I would say what made it worth it to me, did I try to maximize the benefits so I'd have a lower effective annual fee? Yes. And what I mean by that, if the annual fee was $300 and I had $200 worth of perks, I tried to use those so I would really be only paying $100. But that became a little tedious. And somehow I managed to do probably what a lot of people do, and I was missing the mark with that. So to fool myself, it really wasn't fooling myself, but what made it worth it to me was the life's experiences, the things I was doing that I would have never done without points and miles, even though I was paying an annual fee. And I'll give you an example. I looked at a first class flight once upon a time, and it was roughly about $1,800. That particular year, I had flown first class 3 times with accumulated points and miles. And when I transferred them and pooled them all together, I probably had paid maybe an $800 or $900 annual fee because I was using the Everyday Preferred. I was using the Gold card, and that was it, the Gold and the Everyday Preferred. I was rocking with and the Blue Business Preferred.
Okay.
No annual fee, $95 annual fee, and a $695. Back then it was like $550. So I'm looking at about $800, and you take 18 and multiply times 3. If I'm not mistaken, that's about $5,400. So the experiences, I could have whined about the annual fee.
Yeah,
I didn't hit the perks, but I maximized my opportunities.
Yeah,
that's what I look at now. I remember the days when I walked. Everybody got to walk past first class to get the main cabin. I was in that group that walked past it. And the second time I flew first class, I knew it was going to be a problem because the first time went too smooth.
Wow.
There was somebody in my seat. I said, oh boy, they ain't going to believe I'm supposed to be up here. So imagine, thank God I was at the front because I had to turn. When I stopped the whole plane, I turned around. I had to go back the other way against traffic. And I said, hey, am I on the wrong plane? Because my seat's not available. Whoa. And the dude asked me, did I want to change seats? I said, no,
Playboy.
I would have booked this.
No, bro.
So the speed gets up. Right then and now, I was like, man, I don't have these problems in main cabin. I just go to my seat. I'm going back to main cabin. And that's what I did. I went back. But I went to Denver and to have a itty bitty regular room, and they upgraded me to a 1-bedroom suite because I had a $95 annual fee card. I got my money back. So,
wow.
Do you want to worry about how much something costs and not experience life?
Right.
Or life experience is going to cost something.
Yeah.
I don't care. Even if you get the hotel free, the flight free, you got to pay for food. You got to pay for train. You paying for something.
Right.
So that's my thing. What made it worth it? The experiences. I flew first class for an hour. By the time I got up in the air, I was asking myself, why did I just do that? That was one of the dumbest things I ever did. Well, I know why, but But
Wow. Yeah, I've never flown first class. So that would be so cool. And
well, you can give me the money and I'll do the stuff they gonna do. All they gonna do is give you a little wet towel, you to
but
order some drinks. We'll swing a bottle
but you
over
got more leg room.
Yeah, your legs be
sometimes.
swinging.
leg room.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to know. That's why I get an aisle seat. I have my feet in the aisle. I be tripping everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, that's weird because I'm just like, man, because you said you had got those 3 flights, but I'm just like, man, if I would have had that, how many regular flights would I have been able to get? But see, just like you said, it's an experience. And just to even be able to, I think that's great to have been able to experience that. And so, and then it really depends because it's like that last year when we went to Barcelona, I would have loved to have had a, a first class flight. And then one year we had went to Dubai and I was just like, for sure, 13 hours. I really needed that first class flight, but I was just so, happy to get on there. It was good, but first class definitely comes in handy sometimes.
You know what though, Tasha Key, I got into that credit card helium machine. My head got too big. I started floating in the clouds. And I realized first class, I mean, it was cool. And like you said, it was an experience, but I was running through points. Now, the only thing I will say, the way you got treated with these points and once you pulled out a particular card, even that made it worth it. I could have on a 3-piece suit and a plastic whatever card, the Boogaloo Bang Bang card, and they look at me like whatever. Or I could go in there with a hoodie on and pull out a platinum, and next thing you know, I'm Mr. Rod.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're right. So I want to get into this year. What would you say, or even if it wasn't this year, what was the best redemption that you had did? What was the best redemption you had with your points and cash back?
This year, I mean, here's the thing. Anytime you get to take a flight where you're not putting cash out of your bank account is a great time because I'm spending money, groceries, gas, charging my car, all this stuff. And then at the end of the month, I'm like, cool, I got enough points for a flight. Right. So I'm not doing anything extra. So to me, every flight I take is special. I was just pulling up some travel stats here. I use an app called Flighty. So I'm able to see all the flights I've taken so far. And this year, oops, I got a background on, but I've taken 43 flights this year.
Thank you.
So all of them, I mean, all of those were paid for with points and miles, unless my work was paying, then that's different. But yeah, all of them, in my opinion. But using points and miles and having points and miles, Tasha, something you said is you don't like to hold on to the points. I do for at least a little bit. I have a threshold that I like because if there's a funeral, if there's a graduation, or if there's just something that comes up, I always want to be able to be that person that has, I got it. Don't worry about it. You weren't planning for this financial thing to happen. I got it with the points. So that's why I like to keep a stash of points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point. Wow. 43 flights this year and you didn't have to pay, maybe $5. That's great. That's amazing.
It's just that's what I'm saying. Even when you fly at the back of the plane by the restroom.
As long as I'm on the plane.
Don't put me by the emergency seat. I tell them straight up, I can't say nobody, I can't swim. So don't put me by that seat. I'm telling you. But it's just a matter
of the only guy in the Navy that can't swim. Also, by the way, that's crazy.
Nobody ever believe
me. That's crazy. But thank you for saying.
I'm telling you, you want to see, go jump in some water and have me there with you. You're gonna be out there wishing you would have listened to me because I'm telling you, I can't swim. But I listened to Tasha, and I remember when Tasha was a no annual fee. Boy, I couldn't even have a conversation with her about annual fees. She just wasn't listening. But she had what I like to say, her season, and now she's doing a different strategy. And I think that sometimes people get credit cards. That's why Key says she's had over 100 through her lifetime because the strategy's changed. And I think people will get a card and keep it and pay this crazy annual fee and not even be using it at all, just throwing away money. And then they'll say, well, I don't have any money. I wish I can go to the comedy show. Well, you just gave $700 to American Express. You know, you could have went to however many, at least three comedy shows. So that's just my opinion.
So, Rod, you'll have to let us know what would you say is the best redemption you have ever had?
I'm not like Chad's Money Minutes. I haven't flown Singapore and went to Qatar and and all Egypt and all that.
Cutter.
Yeah.
Well, whatever you call it. Well, you know what I'm talking about. Whatever
I got you.
Over there.
Yeah.
I've been over there, but I ain't go with no flights. But mine was mostly experience. But if you talk about dollar value, it may be a little different, but I don't go by dollar. I would say when I went to the Fontainebleau in Miami.
Okay.
I've stayed at hotels in Dubai. I've stayed at hotels in Hong Kong and Singapore.
So cool.
Nothing can touch the Fontainebleau in Miami.
Wow.
I mean, it was, I want to say 3 buildings, 14, was it? I think it was, 20 acres or 14 acres, like 20 different pools. I was at pool parties that people was just inviting me to, like stars. I watched the sun come up, and I think the room was like $700 a night.
Ooh.
And thanks to Capital One that everybody talked bad about, well, they did me right because I used my venture miles.
Okay.
Paid for with the Capital One, erased the travel purchase, 5 days. I'm in Miami Beach. I don't like to say this, but it's honest. I'm being honest. I was living my best life.
Right. No, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tasha, I would love to hear your answer to this. What's been your redemption?
I was trying to think of, because this year I had went to Vegas and I was there. Well, see, the thing is, I had did the presentation, and so I was able to get I paid $200, and I was able to get 4 days in Vegas. And for my flights, I had used points and cash back for my flights. But I would say probably 2 years ago, I had went to Puerto Rico. Now I feel like if I really would have had a little bit more time, I would have been able to really make the most of it. But at that time, I was in Cancun, and that trip wasn't going how I planned it. So I ended up doing like a solo trip to Puerto Rico. So I had went there for 4 days. And so that trip was going to be like $3,000. And I want to say I probably ended up paying out of my pocket maybe $300, maybe a little bit less. And so that was for my flight. But I did end up staying at 2 hotels. So I stayed at the La Concha because that's my favorite hotel there. And then I stayed at the Sheraton, and I even did a few excursions too with that and some food. But this year, basically, because I've been to Vegas, I've been to DC this year, and then just for my flight I went to Chicago, I've used points and cash back. And so my trips this year have been, because I said in 2024, I wanted and for 2025, I wanted to use all points and cash back. And so far I'm doing that. And then in November, I'm still trying to set up my Puerto Rico trip for November, but I'm just like, man, I really feel you on that, Key, because I'm just like, before when I was looking at it, it didn't seem like it was that many points. And I'm just like, well, is it that many people going on the creator trip to where all the hotels and everything? And so I'm like, man, it's like 110,000 points for here and there. And so I'm just like, I really wanted to use all points and cash back for that trip too. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to, because I really want to stay at the Vanderbilt in Puerto Rico, because I like that hotel. But so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that right now.
Can we take a step back just for a second? And I'm sorry, Rod, I keep cutting you off.
No, go ahead, because I think we're about to do the same thing.
It's so amazing to talk with people like y'all that are, I have a favorite hotel in Puerto Rico. Rod's like, everyone has to walk past me in first class. Like, I mean, you guys definitely, it's a privilege to be talking with y'all and just have y'all, someone I can call, text in my circle. So I appreciate y'all so much. And we're talking about it like it's nothing, but that's why you have to subscribe to all of our channels, right? Because we're each bringing a different perspective.
Yeah,
we're each bringing a different approach to how we're doing this. So appreciate the people that are watching, but share, like, subscribe. Really do appreciate it. It really does mean a lot.
Most definitely.
And Key brought up a great point, and I didn't share this to my channel because I didn't want people in my channel and Tasha's channel. I say, hopefully everybody will just come to one location. And I like what Key just said, because I remember when Key, before she started, she used to watch me. Now she's doing better than me, and that's a testament. I was always told that a measure of a good leader are the people they train. I didn't train Key. She just watched me, and now she over here talking about stuff I don't even know what she's talking about. That's real talk. That's helped me out, and that's how we got to take this. Don't hate, appreciate and learn.
Right.
I was thinking about what Tasha said, and I had to go back real quick about one of my best redemptions, because it was at the Hilton. And Key said, and she's right. You typically do. I remember when my youngest daughter called, my grandson's birthday. She wanted to go to Disneyland. I hate Disneyland. I didn't want to go. No, I didn't want to spend no money. I said, why am I tripping? I got points and miles. I booked a first class flight to San Diego. I booked a Hilton, a 5-minute walk to Disneyland.
Oh.
Yeah. At the time, I could not believe this for LA, California. It was in Anaheim. The hotel was $150 a night. I couldn't believe it. I just looked it up. It's $205. I didn't even pay cash. I spent points. So I went to where my daughter was staying, and she was like, Dad, where you stay? I said, some Hilton or something. So she said, oh, you're staying in the Hilton? I said, yeah. I looked at her hotel. I was like, man, what is this? This like the bar? It was the hotel. It was just a little flat, right? And she was like, no, this. I was like, how much you pay for this? She was like, $300 a night. I was like, oh my God. She said, how much you pay? I said, I don't know, man. I didn't even look at the receipt because I didn't want to tell her and make her feel bad. But that was just a matter of lack of education. And later on, I told her, I said, man, and she said, well, how long does it take to get to your hotel? I said, you gonna think I'm crazy, but I MapQuested it, and it told me I would be there at 2, but it took 5, but I was drinking, so it's really about 2.5. Because I was taking 2 steps forward and going back. But y'all, I flew on a whim. I flew to California, went to Disneyland, got held hostage for 14 hours, came back home to Dallas. It didn't cost me a dime.
Wow.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And it was 65,000 points per night. Right now, if I stay at the hotel 2 on my birthday, which is always night, I just looked it up, it's 65,000 points per night right now.
Wow, that's good. But let me ask you, so I want to ask you guys as we kind of wind down. So I have 2 questions for you. So I want you to think about this question. So if somebody was getting started, what is like a 2 or 3 card setup that and really it could be any annual fee, but then also, because I think we would be doing a disservice, because on the one hand, yes, I love using credit cards. I use credit cards for all of my spend. But do you think that there is a way to use credit cards without getting into a whole lot of credit card debt? And then what was your mindset shift to make you, did you have credit card debt before to where it's like, you know what, if I'm going to be using these points and cash back, that's not the way to do it?
I'll tell you my mindset shift. In 2010, I believe, 2009, 2010, I was dead broke. And when I say dead broke, I mean for real broke. And I walked into a closet full of clothes. I had, all kind of clothes. And I had $4, like you count from 1 to 4, $4 in my account in 2 days to pay. I said, boy, I sure wish I could sell these clothes. It was about 8 o'clock at night. Who's going to have a garage sale at 8 o'clock at night? I mean, I'm like, damn. That right there, when I got myself together, fixed my credit, got my finances back on track, I remember walking into a mall, and this is a real true story. And I'm not saying this to brag. This is when I feel like Rod had mentally and maturely arrived. I walked into a mall with probably somewhere between $250,000 and $350,000 in my pocket in credit.
Okay.
I I could have bought anything in the mall. Y'all know what I walked out of there with? A
What?
bag of popcorn. That was it. And I said, man, I just walked in this mall with all the stuff I used to want. And I walked out with a bag, and I knew at that point I had arrived at a stage where I wasn't about to be walking in no walk-in closet and have $4 and $6,000 worth of clothes. I wasn't doing it. And that's when I learned.
Yeah.
So, and that's a true story. Not,
Wow. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks for sharing that, Rob.
Yeah. What about you, Key?
damn, Tasha, don't start crying now, man. Do I need to crack a joke or something?
No, no.
What about you, kid? Damn.
I was like, I'm next. Well, a couple things. The first question you had asked was, if you're a beginner just getting started, what's a card that you should get? I think, honestly, if you're already doing business with your local ABC credit union, ABC bank that we've never heard of, I think that's a perfect place for you to start, because you have your checking account there. You maybe have your paycheck already going there. So I think that just gets an easy way to start good habits, because they're going to want to set you up with automatic payments, like while you're in the branch. I think that's a fundamental part, is building good habits, right? We're talking about the rewards way down the line, but the rewards make no sense if you're not doing the basics right. So that's how I would start. If you're ready to graduate from that, then I would say a no annual fee card with maybe like a Wells Fargo autograph card, 0 fee, 3 points per dollar on just about everything. If you're ready to graduate up from that, I would say maybe a Capital One Venture X. And that's kind of like, that's it. But I think that having good habits is the most important thing. Don't matter, Rob, what's in your closet. Don't matter if you're sitting in first class, if you don't have these good habits.
Yeah.
And I didn't answer that part of the question. I forgot the 2 cards. That's a tough question, man. But I'm thinking the young men and women I come across that I talk to, at least monthly, I would probably, this is going to sound crazy, I wouldn't even think points and miles right off the bat. I would think managing credit.
Okay.
Because if you can't manage credit, none of what we're talking about is not exactly what Keith just said. It's not going to matter.
Right.
If you can't manage it. So I would really start with the Discover It card.
Yes, that's a good one.
That is a good one. I forgot about that.
Because you can see if you're pre-approved. Let's say you're not pre-approved. You can always get the Secure card, wait about 9 months, and they're going to graduate you to the regular card anyway.
Yeah.
You're going to have bonus categories. I wouldn't even focus on that, because right now you're a beginner. You're just starting. I would just, my mentor on YouTube, Dwayne, used to say, I would use the snot out of it. I just use the card everywhere. But I have a 3P rule: purchase, wait 2 days, post, and then pay it. Don't wait until no due dates and closing dates. Don't even just as soon as you, and don't, if you know you have $50 that you're going to spend on, don't go over $50. Treat that credit card like a debit card.
Yeah.
Purchase, pay, post. Then later on, probably about once 9 months go, 6 to 12 months, I would look at the Chase Freedom Flex. I would go to a whole different bank. Don't start with the Chase Freedom Flex, because you probably won't get it. Get your credit with Discover, then go to Chase. Now, you're not going to be able to travel with either of these cards, theoretically, but you really can, because what are you going to be getting? You're going to be getting cash back on both.
Yeah.
Discover is going to match your cash back the first year. I guarantee you, if you use the card and treat it like a debit card, you get the cash back. Then you also get your Chase card. You can take the cash back. You earn it, still buy your trip. And then by then you can apply for a simple travel card, everyday or Sapphire Preferred. But like Tasha said at the beginning of this, and Keith said it the whole time, and both of them have said it every live I've done with them. If you're not going to use the card, it doesn't make sense to be paying any money.
Right. Yeah. And because I've been getting credit cards for a long time, but I know I paid my fair share of, I've had my fair share of credit card debt. And the last time, I don't know, I think I had maybe like 11,000 in credit card debt. And I was just like, that's just no good. And so, you know, I kind of did the Dave Ramsey and I had cut all my credit cards up and all that kind of stuff. And so I feel like with that, just using my debit card or because really cash, I'm not really carrying cash around a whole lot. I felt like I really had got in a good habit. And then one day I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna start using credit cards again. And then once I did that, I haven't went back. And so now I just use a credit card and I pay it off. And then especially once I really got into the points and cash back, you know, I'm just like, if I'm gonna be getting the points, it's no reason for me to have, you know, the credit card debt. But I will say, like when what Ryan said, the Discover It, and then you know, Key, you were talking about the 0% interest, and so I had got that Discover It, and I did a balance transfer, and I transferred that over, and then that's how I got the debt paid down. Because I'm just like, really, with credit cards, it's like you can use credit cards to level yourself up, you know, to where okay, one, you can use it to pay down debt, but then two, you know, stuff happens sometimes, and you might not have it, but if you have a card that has 0% interest and then something comes up, then you can use it there, and then you're not running into, you know, your money. And so I just think if we can really come to a part to where we can use credit smart in a smart way, then it's like the sky's the limit. And so that's really what I like to do, because I'm just like, now to where I'm getting it, I'm trying to be like Chad too, and be like you guys, to where, okay, how can I get 48 flights a year? But it's just like, you know, just start where you can. But, you know, because I just use my credit cards pretty much for 85 to 90% of my spend, everything that I can, and then I just pay it off. Yeah, but then I would say the 2 credit cards, because when I went to DC, my sister and then a friend of ours that we had met up with, and then even one of my coworkers, they were asking me because and so I was just like, one, I would probably say, I definitely would say to Discover It, but it's like if you're trying to use points for travel, I would definitely say now I would say probably the Chase ISG Traveler or the Chase ISG Premier. I would really probably say the Premier, but if you're trying to get started with no annual fee, I would say the Traveler. But with the Premier, I had that one a few years ago, and I had got it when it had 170,000 points. And you talking about being able to get some night stays. And then I would definitely say the Southwest, and then maybe the City Platinum, because you know, American Airlines, because that one is only $99 and you get the first year wave. And then I'm gonna say either the Hilton, just the Hilton Honor, or the Hilton Honor Surpass. And I would kind of say maybe start there. But I'm gonna tell you, even though I be messing around, one day I am gonna get that platinum card.
Tasha, I'm gonna wait.
One day I am gonna get that platinum card. I am, because it'll be the same thing with it. Because it's like, the thing is, even though I say not for me, I feel like it's what is your goal and how am I gonna make it work. So it's like right now, I just don't know. And so that's the only reason. But I definitely can see the perks with it. And it's just like now, even with me really liking the Hilton Honor Surpass, even now I'm just like, man, what's up with the Aspire? So, but I want to give a shout out to Kim Dean, and then the 23, the 14th U2C, and Sledge. What up, Sledge? Sledge is in the building. I appreciate you for joining as well. So,
hey Tasha, I have a question. I know. I mean, I don't think I supposed to have. Oh yeah, it was one other thing we had to talk about.
yeah.
What's your best credit moment?
My best credit moment. Dang, that's a good one.
Well, you don't have to answer. I just thought of one because I never asked anyone that question, and I've never thought about it myself. Really, you have one, Key?
I'm just writing the question down. Nothing that's coming to my mind right now.
Damn.
But
Y'all
but you know what? But I think my best credit moment, and it could be that
it
really
could be
could be
whatever
wrong.
you deem your best credit moment.
Yeah, but I really think my best credit moment was doing the balance transfer and get myself out of debt. I think that
Man,
was my best. I think that was my best move because it's just like really once I did that, it's like I have not turned back, and it's just like how can I use credit the right way? And I feel like that was my best move that I've ever done. And so I would always say, if you have debt, do a balance transfer, create a plan, get it paid off. And to me, it's just like once I had started doing my budget and then following my budget, and then just you know how much you'll have coming in compared to going out and only spending that. And then once I had paid that debt off, it's just like it just made it to where, okay, I don't have to just use all the money. And then it really just helped me. Okay, now I'm doing certificates. Now I'm doing high yield savings. And so, I know I want to talk about the SoFi and, and I'm trying to get into other stuff. But it's just like once I got my finances in order, then it opened me up to be able to do other stuff.
man, Tasha, I remember my first collab. Tasha was like, boy, Tasha just be rolling now, man. I'm so proud of you. She's so nervous the first time, Key. She just
I know. I still get nervous though.
Really? Nah.
Yeah.
You still don't have one, Key? No best credit moment?
No, I'm gonna have to think on this one, Rod. I like the question.
I'm gonna have you on. I'm gonna hit you on IG with this. Hey, I'm live, man. Remember that question? I don't think I'm gonna forget either.
Oh, I got it right here. Don't worry about it.
I like Tasha's and that's what I was thinking. A lot of times when people hear that question, I've never asked anyone that. Have I ever thought about it? Yeah, but I've never asked. They always think about something they done that was all total positive, and Tasha used getting out of debt, which can be a negative thing, and how she turned it into something positive. I don't think my best credit moment was when, after years of being told no, probably 7 years and 2 months of being told no and being embarrassed and being told it's only one language for no that I know, and that's no. No. And you'll get a letter and sorry and all that good stuff. When I applied, I kept getting this letter in the mail, this whatever you call it, mailer about the American Airlines card. And finally I said, forget it, I'm gonna apply. What's the worst can happen? They're gonna tell me no too. They'll join the club. Y'all, when I completed my app, I hit the little submit button and I went outside. That's how nervous I was. I went outside. That's why I better hurry, get back in and made time out. And when I came back in, it was still spinning. I was like, oh my God, it's not going to work. And it said, congratulations, you're approved. I'm like, what? I think they got the wrong person. How did I get approved? $12,500 credit limit. And then I found out I had a 700 credit score. And the moral of that story is check your credit. I am scared to apply for anything. And I lost out on a lot of stuff thinking that I was going to forever have bad credit. And that was my best credit moment. Was just finally, after being told no hundreds of times, somebody was saying yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So I know we're coming up to the end, but Rod, I want you to talk a little bit about, because I had came into one of your, or maybe I had watched it, maybe it wasn't on a live, and you were talking about the SoFi stocks. The 50, it's a SoFi 50, if I'm saying that correctly. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, with the SoFi 50, it's actually the SoFi, if you look it up, it's the SoFi Select 50. I stumbled across it. I never knew existed, and I've had SoFi for years. Just because you hear SoFi, it's available on SoFi, but it's available on all platforms. I have it in multiple brokerages. And when I say that, I have it on Robinhood. So if you have a Robinhood, you can buy it. I have it on Webull. You can buy it anywhere. We got that clear. What it is basically an exchange traded fund. When you hear exchange traded fund or ETF, it's several stocks that fit under one umbrella or one fund. So when you hear select 50, usually if there's a number in there, that's close to how many stocks are in that fund. So there's either 50 or less, or maybe 50 or 54.
Mm-hmm.
What really caught my attention with this fund is I took the D off of it, and I'm going to have fun with this fund. Because what SoFi does I think it's every quarter, every month. I got to go back and reread it. The stocks change, and they take the top 50 stocks that the SoFi customers, the Rods, the Tashas, the Keys, the Johnnies, the Marys, whoever, the top 50, and if it's Amazon and Meta, and for some reason, some company that we never heard of, and they squeeze in there, those are going to be our 50 stocks that month.
Okay.
And then we don't have anything to do with it as shareholders. We just own it. I think I have maybe $10 in it. I'm going to add a couple bucks every month. When I say a couple of y'all, I mean a couple, like 2, 3, not a lot. And I really think I looked at the performance of it, and where's my phone? You'll hear me, Tasha, I'll say symbols a lot of time. You won't hear me say like SoFi. I'll say SoFi, SFYF, which is the stock symbol for that fund. Y'all don't get caught up in that. You'll hear me say it. You may hear Tasha, you may hear Lisa J. Stock say it. Learn the basics, but there are going to be instances where you're going to be on your app and they're not going to spell it out. They're going to have your money tied to 3 or 4 letters, and you're not going to have no clue of what it is. So that's why I really thrive. I just want to see. And Tasha, I think it's a great move. And when you said it, I thought you were going to open an account with SoFi. Who are you going to use, out of curiosity?
Well, now that you say that, because I have a Robinhood account, but I was thinking about opening up a SoFi account.
I would open a SoFi if you're going to use their other services, being if you're going to use their checking and savings. Mm-hmm. If one day you want to have an option to get a loan, you don't have to open it now. You can always open it later.
Okay.
Personally, I have a SoFi account. I keep a little money in all of my accounts. I don't have a lot there. I have sub $1,000 there. If I have maybe $600, but I like to keep accounts like this. So if I ever hit a rock in the road, I can always go to my SoFi app and I have some type of cushion.
Yeah.
Just even if it's a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing I don't like about them, I'd rather have Robinhood than SoFi. If I have $1.12 in my account on Robinhood, I can buy me $1.12 worth of stock. If I have $1.12 on SoFi, I gotta wait until I get to $5.
Oh, okay.
To buy a fractional share. That's my thing.
Okay. Well, I definitely appreciate you for you guys for stopping by, and I want to.
Slay's got a tough question down there for you, Tasha. I'm ready. I know Key ready.
Yeah, and I want to. Edmund Allen said, "What's in your wallet?" And so I want to end on this. What cards are you using right now? What credit cards are you using right now? And then when you say what credit cards you're using, please shout out your channel so that everybody will know who to go and check out your channel.
Go ahead, Key, ladies first.
Thank you. I'm using 2 cards. I'm just double checking everything. You know, people like to steal on the internet. 2 cards I'm using are the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. Oops, you can't really see. Got the background on. $95 annual fee. And then I'm also utilizing the Capital One Venture X. And this is the business version, but I also have the personal version.
Wow.
Those are the 2 cards I'm using. I pretty much use and maximize the 3 points per dollar on the Chase Sapphire Preferred right now. I'm looking to get around 300,000 points before I stop using, the Chase card.
Okay.
I have some ideas on how I want to use some of those points. And then Capital One is my go-to. 2 points per dollar on everything. I don't have to worry about it. It's a Visa card. You know what I mean? I can just, it's going to be accepted everywhere. And then I've been utilizing those points to help me with Major League Baseball games. I went to IndyCar. Lots of different activities you can find in the Capital One travel portal there. So, and the experiences portal. And Tasha.
Key, I want to say this before Rod goes. Key, I went to Chicago and I was like, wow. And I don't know if it was a game or anything, but this was the one time that I seen. So I was like, they just must love repping the Chicago Cubs. But it was like everybody had on a Chicago t-shirt, a hat or something. And I was just like, wow, that is so cool.
Yep. Yeah. I love baseball. I finished up all of the Major League Baseball stadiums earlier this year. I can't wait to talk about it because I've been off YouTube for a while. The 43 flights got to me, but I'm back.
That's amazing. Man, I'm just like, Key, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all got to go over there and check out Key channel. Like, I don't know nobody that has been able to get 43 flights and use all points, you know? And then it's just like, and I love what you said. You know, you got to create a plan for you because it's like for me, can I go on a trip, one trip a quarter? That's what I like. And I've been able to do that a couple of times. And then, so, you know, maybe next year I'll say, okay, can I do a flight every year? But, you know, I'm good with the trip a quarter. I really like that kind of setup. But 43 flights, I'm just so amazed. I'm very amazed with that, Key.
Thank you.
Rod, what's in your wallet right now?
All right, Tosh, I'm going to do something I've never done it. And however many what's in my wallet videos I've done, I've never shown, I'm not going to show them all, but I've never shown all the cards in my wallet. I always do the 8. But right now, I got a whole deck of cards, but I got a new shift. Now, none of these are what we're about to talk about. These are all investment cards and IDs. But as far as what's in my wallet, and I'll probably do a video. I haven't done one in a while. I have 8 cards. I'm running an 8-card lineup, using every one of them. Every one of them has a reason to be in my wallet. So right now, Citi Custom Cash, I'm using it. Grocery stores, 5% cash back on every purchase. Transferring that money over to my Webull account, making that money flip like pancakes. I have my World of Hyatt card in there because I want to get more Hyatt points just to show a little love with Hyatt so it won't be in there alone. Chase Sapphire Preferred at restaurants, 3 times a point restaurants to Rod is going to Sonic and getting a cream slush or something. I ain't going to sit down nowhere. I ain't got time for that. Next card in the wallet, I am running a Chase Trifecta is the Chase Freedom Flex card. And then the Freedom Unlimited, we had a Chase Freedom Flex where I'm using these 2 cards. One for restaurants, sharing time with the Sapphire Preferred, and really my catch-all card, getting 1.5 when I don't get other bonus categories. This one here is 5% cash back or 5 times the points at gas stations. So I'll rotate them. If I go get gas one day, I'll use the Citi Custom Cash, or I may use it 3 days if I'm focused on cash. If I'm focused on travel, I use the Chase card. This card is one of my favorite cards. This is a Discover It card. I forgot, man. I'm using this camera today. It's a Discover. It's a little, what's this little thing? I was going to get this little dog, but then I read about it and changed my mind, but I'm stuck with the card. A Westie, that's what he is. You look cute on here, but they bad as I don't know what. Next card, believe it or not, the next
you have to break your back wallet. How many cards you got in this thing?
You got 8. Oh my goodness.
And that's just in the front.
That's just in the wallet.
Everybody should have one of these. This is a no annual fee Discover It debit card.
Okay.
Not a credit card. I got this because they was playing with me and I built a relationship with Discover and got me a checking account and savings account, then got the card. So, and I got my PayPal. This card here is the beast of all beasts. People don't know about this card. If you're a content creator and this card is not in your wallet, you don't know what you're doing.
Uh-oh,
I don't have it.
I ain't using
it. Cards and that ain't
Y'all don't have this?
No, I don't even have PayPal. I don't have Cash App. I don't have PayPal. I
Well, I don't want to get in your business. That's how I get paid from YouTube. I don't know how everybody else gets paid. That's how it go to my PayPal.
It go to your PayPal.
Yeah. And then I just leave it there and I do some other stuff. I got crypto and PayPal. I got me and PayPal got a lot going on. So much going on.
Wow.
I just bought some stock in them the other day.
Okay.
But that's what's in my wallet.
Wow, that is cool. Look, you breaking your back like Sledge breaking his back.
No, I keep my wallet in my front pocket. I ain't breaking nothing.
Hey.
Breaking your whole back. I bet your jeans wore out.
Right. And so right now, I'm only using my Citi Platinum American Airlines card, and then I'll use my Hilton Honor Surpass. So those are, and then maybe my Chase Southwest credit card. So those are the only 3 credit cards that I'm really using right now, because I'm really just trying to use my American Airlines card because I'm really trying to get airline points, because I'm low on airline points. I'm good on hotel points. And so that's where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But I want to say, man, I appreciate y'all so much for coming. And then I just want to give a quick shout out to Lisa J. Stocks for stopping by, the House of X Entertainment, Chad, Latrice, Grinding for the Money. That's what I'm talking about. Latisa Young, Latrice Wilson, 23 to 14, Kim, Sledge, and then we had Edmund. And so I just thank y'all so much for joining. And anybody that's watching the replay, I appreciate you guys as well. And so Key and Rod, can you just tell them where they can find you on YouTube and social media, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to be able to talk to people like y'all and just be up here chatting, right? We chatting.
Yeah, we chatting.
My name's Key. I run the YouTube channel called Kiki Adventures. You can find me at Kiki Adventures on just about everything. My whole point of my channel is to showcase how you can travel with points, miles, and all of the fun rewards that you can obtain. My personal goal is traveling at least once per month, and you don't have to have the same goal, but I do want to show you the steps on how you can if you want to.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining. Rod, take us away.
Just piggybacking what Keith said, being able to talk to like-minded individuals, it's always a plus. You always learn something new. And I have several channels, as I said at the beginning, and each channel I develop, it's about learning something. I mean, I like to have fun. I like to joke. I talk a lot of smack, but at the end of the day, I want to teach people what wasn't taught to me out of lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
And for the people that are still using the excuse that, you can't learn it, you can, and until they find other means, I'm going to be that mediator between where the knowledge is and the people. And that's my sole thing. You can find me on Instagram at points blank travel. Make sure you put an S at the end of point, because we're talking points and mile, points blank travel on all social media, Facebook, TikTok, no, not TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, then on TikTok at Investing with Rod, Facebook, as well as IG and YouTube. Nice. Other channels, but I'm not focused on them right now. So
okay. All right. Well, y'all, I really appreciate you again for joining, and everybody in the chat. Thank y'all so much. And I hope that y'all have a good rest of the night, and we will see you next time. Have a good one.
And thank you, Tasha.
Thank y'all. I really appreciate it.